Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following MLB matches that are happening on Saturday, August 12, 2023. We will be providing our team, total and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Atlanta Braves vs New York Mets. Our team pick for this game is New York Mets money line. And here is why. The Atlanta Braves have not been as sharp recently. Atlanta has only won 3 of their last 7 games and is near the end of its longest road trek of the season. The Mets just won 2 of 3 against the Cubs, who were the hottest team in the big leagues at the time. Furthermore, while the order of the starting pitchers for the DH has yet to be announced as of Friday evening, the Braves are starting either Spencer Strider or rookie Allen Winans in this DH. Strider has not been reliable against the Mets. He has squandered 12 runs in 9 innings against them this season and has a disaster 7.23 ERA and 23.2 career innings against the rivals. Winans is a rookie who has made just 1 big league start in which he allowed 2 runs in 4.1 innings. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. 4 of the last 5 games played between these two teams overall went under the run total, and 2 of the 3 games played in New York earlier this season went under as well. The Braves were limited to 4 runs or less in 4 of the last 5 games overall against the Mets. New York pitchers have held Atlanta to a lean .221 batting average with a .396 slugging percentage in their last 5 games against them at home. The Braves score almost a full run less on average on the road than they do at Truist Park this season. Atlanta has an elite pitching staff on the road in 2023, ranking first in the majors in away team ERA with 3.72. The Mets offense has struggled at City all season, ranking second to last in team batting average at home with .237. They also rank towards the bottom in home slugging percentage, so the odds they score quickly in bunches against the Atlanta staff are low. The Mets have gone under the run total in 3 of Quintana's last 4 starts. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair when these two teams meet in New York on Saturday afternoon. Chicago Cubs vs Toronto Blue Jays. Our team pick for this game is Chicago Cubs. And here is why. Chicago has won 14 of its last 19 games and when playing head-to-head versus Toronto, has won 4 of the last 6. The Chicago Cubs have won each of Justin Steele's most recent 4 starts, and over that stretch, the left-hander has allowed 900 runs across 23 innings, which is not his best performances, but in 121 innings pitched this season, Steele has allowed just 36 earned runs and only 9 home runs, making it difficult for opponents to score in bunches against he and his teammates. Toronto starting pitcher Chris Bassitt performed well last time out, but in his start previous to that, gave up 4 runs in 6 innings when losing to Baltimore. Bassitt has pitched just 19 innings more than Steele, but has allowed 60 runs, compared to 36 for Steele. Toronto will be without Bo Bichette, who is leading the club in batting average, while 3rd in home runs and 2nd in RBI. Our total pick is over 9 runs. And here is why. The last time these two teams met, all 3 of the games played went over the run total. The Cubs hit a healthy .284 with a .450 slugging percentage over the 3-game set. The Cubs' offense has been clicking recently. They have moved into the top 5 in the league in average runs scored per game with 5.06. They also are in the top 10 in slugging percentage, so they are capable of scoring in bunches quickly. The Blue Jays' offense can also put runs on the board, ranking in the top 5 in the league in batting average and in the top 10 in slugging percentage. The Cubs have gone over the run total in each of Steele's previous 3 starts. The Blue Jays have gone over the run total in 2 of Bassitt's last 3 starts. Steele has a 1.62 whip in his previous 3 starts and has given up an average of 10.90 hits per 9 innings. The stats support a higher scoring affair when the Cubs take on the Blue Jays in Toronto on Saturday. Detroit Tigers vs Boston Red Sox. For this game, take the Red Sox with a run line. And here is why. The Red Sox are still very much in the fight for a playoff spot and will prosper against Manning, who has an ERA over 6 in his last 5 starts. The Red Sox are hitting nearly .290 at home this season and have hit 65 home runs in 59 home games, as well as 142 doubles. The Red Sox's left-handed heavy lineup will thrive against Manning on Saturday, with 3 starters hitting .290 or better against righties this season. The Tigers are 28th in batting average overall and dead last in batting average on the road this season. Sox starter Bello has been sharp at home with an ERA of just over 3 this season and 54 strikeouts in just over 60 innings pitched. Expect the Sox to take advantage of the inexperienced Manning making his first start at Fenway and win this one pulling away. Our total pick is all in all, go with under 9.5 runs in this game, as it seems to be the better option. And here is why. The last few weeks have seen these offenses struggle a bit, as Detroit is averaging 4.5 runs in their last 12 games, while Boston is scoring 3.23 runs in their previous 13 games. These starting pitchers also are doing well enough to limit the amount of runs, as Matt Manning is 2-3 with a 5.50 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP in his last 7 starts, while Brain Bello is 3-2 with a 4.22 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP in that span. Cleveland Guardians vs Tampa Bay Rays. Our team pick for this game is Rays run line. And here is why. Both of these teams are on the heels of the first place clubs in their division, but only one is a legitimate playoff team. I'll bet on that team to win and cover the run line on Saturday. Tampa won't make an official decision on Glasnow until Saturday morning, but I'm predicting under the assumption he will take the mound, as the updates on his progress have been encouraging. That's great news for the Rays, who could use a bounce-back series win after dropping 2 of 3 to the non-contender Cardinals earlier this week. The AL pitcher of the month in July, Glasnow significantly raises TP's profile. As long as he's healthy enough, he should be in full control against a Guardians lineup that's hitting .179 BA, .2460 BP, .267 SLG, .513 OPS this month, scoring 2.1 runs per game. Cleveland may not strike out much, but it's not very productive with runners in scoring position, leaving 3.55 runners in scoring position per game, 21st in MLB. Even if Glasnow doesn't fan a lot of batters tomorrow, I'm confident he will keep the Guardians' offense in check. Tampa hasn't faced the rookie Williams before, but that doesn't deter me from betting on them to cover the spread. TB scores 5.1 runs per game at home and has responded to a nightmarish performance at the plate in July, with a stronger start to August. This may not be a blowout win, but with a run line at -1.5, it doesn't need to be too lopsided for the Rays RL to cash. Our total pick for this game is the under, 7.5 runs. Tyler Glasnow has been superb for Tampa Bay recently. He has allowed 2 or fewer runs in 5 straight starts. Glasnow has recorded 7 or more strikeouts in 8 straight starts. Cleveland has been cold lately and their offense is weak. The Guardians are bottom 10 or around the bottom 10 in the league in runs, home runs, RBIs, walks, OBP, SLG, and OPS. Cleveland will struggle to do anything against Glasnow. This will be a lower scoring game and the under will hit. New York Yankees vs Miami Marlins. Our team pick is New York. And here is why. Neither of these teams have been lighting it up as of late, but after a dominant win to kick off this series, the momentum is all on their side, and with Aaron Judge seemingly getting healthy once again, this team could be on the cusp of a big turnaround. In their past 10 head-to-head meetings, the Yankees have come away with a 6-4 record, including a 5-1 mark in their past 6 games, over which stretch the Yankees have outscored Miami 30-17, and after a mammoth offensive day on Friday, this could be a big series for New York. Our total pick is to keep it simple, take the under. And here is why. While Friday's game was an offensive explosion, that's out of the norm for these teams as of late, with the under sitting at 6-4 in their past 10 head-to-head meetings and plenty of offensive struggles. For the Yankees, the under is 5-5 in their past 10 overall games, while it sits at 7-3 for Miami over the same stretch, and with the pitching staff the clear strength for these teams in 2023, number 11 and 16 in team ERA this year, expect a low-scoring affair. Minnesota Twins vs Philadelphia Phillies. Our team pick is the Twins with the money line. And here is why. This should be an exciting matchup on Saturday night, especially since we'll get a big-time arm like Pablo Lopez on the bump. Considering he's getting the nod, I'm riding with the Twins in this spot. Lopez looks like he's finding his form as the right-hander has posted 3 consecutive quality starts. In his 2 outings this month, Lopez owns a 0.69 ERA and 0.69 WHIP, 13.0 IP. On top of that, he has excelled against the Phillies in the past. The current Philadelphia roster is slashing just .220, .247, .427 against him over 82 at-bats. Add in the fact that Bryce Harper may not be able to go, and we could see Lopez carve up the Phillies. This is going to be a lower scoring game, and I'm rolling with the established arm in Pablo Lopez. Our total pick is under 9 runs. And here is why. On that note, I'm also riding with the under in this interleague showdown. Both of these squads have been under teams all season, and as of Friday night, the Twins were 58-55-4 to the under, 51.3%, while the Phillies were 58-48-10, 54.7%. Finally, these are 2 of the better bullpens in baseball going head-to-head. Philadelphia is 9th in bullpen ERA, 3.74, and 15th in WHIP, 1.30, while Minnesota is 12th, 3.94, and 9th, 1.24, in those respective categories. The bottom line here is that the Twins' offense really isn't that good, and they also have one of their best pitchers going. Runs should be at a premium, and a total of 9.0 is simply too high. Cincinnati Reds vs Pittsburgh Pirates. Our team pick is Cincinnati Reds. And here is why. The Cincinnati Reds have an excellent chance in this one after winning Friday's bout. Reds starter Brandon Williamson has been reliable. The rookie has limited his opponent to 2 or fewer runs in 5 of his last 6 outings, including performances against the Giants and Dodgers. Furthermore, this is a bullpen start for the Pirates after recently optioning Beto to the minor leagues. The Pirates do not have a strong bullpen, posting a subpar 4.17 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP on the year. Andre Jackson is going to pitch bulk innings. Jackson has a poor 5.18 ERA on the season. The Reds have won in 3 of Williamson's last 4 outings. Our total pick is under 9.5 runs. And here is why. Cincinnati starter Brandon Williamson is coming off a strong outing in which the left-hander allowed 1 run across 60 innings, therefore the play here is under. Oakland Athletics vs Washington Nationals. Our team pick is Oakland Athletics. And here is why the records don't lie. Neither of these teams is enjoying a successful season, and neither team stands out as a glaring favorite for this matchup. The difference could be that Washington has played a lot of baseball recently. Thanks to a doubleheader this week, the Nationals have played 4 games in the past 3 days, and they were only victorious in 1 of those 4. Oakland, meanwhile, comes into the series having won 3 of its last 5 games. Offensively, neither team has a lot of power, but the Athletics at least steal a lot of bases. In a close game, that could be the difference maker, especially since the pitching for each team has been equally as bad this season. Our total pick is over 9.5 runs, and here is why. Despite the poor records for each team, there has actually been some exciting young talent over the past few weeks on both rosters. C.J. Abrams and Lane Thomas have pieced together very nice seasons at the plate for Washington, while Zach Gelliff is coming on strong to produce offensively for Oakland. These are 2 of the worst bullpens in the major leagues, and neither starting pitcher has an impressive WHIP or ERA. Ultimately, when looking at the stats, both teams are ranked at the bottom of the MLB for pretty much every major pitching category. Offensively, though, each team does something very well. Washington's .258 team batting average ranks 6th in all of baseball, and the Athletics are 5th in stolen bases, with 109 on the year. Those stats should help tip the scales in favor of the over in this one. St. Louis Cardinals vs Kansas City Royals. Our team pick is the Royals to cover. And here is why. This is a tough game to judge because of how inconsistent both teams have played this year. But I will take the Royals this game because of how well they are hitting since the All-Star break. They are hitting .270 during that stretch, and they are hitting .252 at home, which is a hitter's ballpark. The Cardinals have been hitting poorly recently, and with Matt's pitching, it may be a bullpen game. Matz has an ERA of 4.76 during road games, which will allow the Royals to have some sort of offensive firepower, which they will take advantage of. Kansas City will start Ragans, who has an ERA of 3.13 during home games. Side with Kansas City's offense in this game. Our total pick is over 9.5 runs. And here is why. Offense is the name of the game in this matchup. These 2 teams combined for 20 runs in Friday's game, and it is easy to see why. Kansas City's offense has been clicking, and the Cardinals have the 6th most hits in baseball. In a hitters-friendly baseball park such as Kauffman Stadium, runs will be aplenty. Los Angeles Angels vs Houston Astros. Our team pick is Houston Astros minus 1.5 runs. And here is why. France will return to the rotation for this Saturday's game. After the Astros acquired Justin Verlander from the Mets and returned Jose Urquidy, the promising hurler was left without a gig in the rotation, but that did not last long. He served a bullpen role last week and came in to relieve Urquidy and was able to come away with his 4th consecutive win and his 6th win in 7 outings, while lowering his ERA to 2.75 in the process. He has been a very reliable piece for the Astros this year and faces an Angels team that is reeling since the trade deadline. Trout will be back soon, but it may be too late for the Halos, who are 7 games back of the final wild card spot. It is hard to trust Tyler Anderson at this juncture of the year, as the dog days of summer have set in and he looks gassed. Trust France to deliver another good outing and the Astros to win. Our total pick is take the over. And here is why. The Angels have been a disaster since the trade deadline, and they need a miracle to sneak into the postseason. They have dropped 7 of 9, dropping games at the most inopportune time of the year. They have lost 8 of 10 in Houston, and Tyler Anderson has been shaky all year. I expect France to pitch a good game, as he has done all year, with most of the damage coming against the Astros bullpen and Anderson on the Halos side. Houston has averaged over 6 runs per game over their last 10 games against the Angels. The total number has gone over in 5 of 6 between these 2 AL foes. Milwaukee Brewers vs Chicago White Sox. Our team pick is Chicago White Sox plus 1.5 runs. And here is why. With Jesse Scholten striking out batters suddenly, 12 in his 12.0 August innings, he should have no issues getting through this Milwaukee lineup with minimal damage. The Brewers don't need much help with whiffing. On the flip side, Brandon Woodruff has been stellar in his limited 2023 action, which should play before Milwaukee turns to the bullpen. With 2 solid starters and 2 weak offenses, expect a tight and low-scoring contest at worst. The best-case scenario is the White Sox's bat staying hot. Either way, Chicago won't lose by multiple runs. Our total pick is over. And here is why. Their season may have a clear expiration date, but Chicago appears as if they're going to go down swinging. The Southsiders came into this series with wins in 4 of their last 5 contests. Scoring has paved the way, with the White Sox scoring 27 runs in those 5 games. That includes at least 5 runs in all 4 wins. The entire season hasn't been as kind, seeing Chicago ranked 25th in runs per game. They have the league's worst walk rate and OBP. Luis Robert Jr. is a budding star, but this isn't a lineup that strikes fear into most pitchers' hearts. San Diego Padres vs Arizona Diamondbacks. Take the Diamondbacks, and here is why. The Diamondbacks are mired in a 9-game losing streak, and they lost a series opener against the Padres. Their lineup has struggled, only averaging 2.2 runs per game in their 9-game skid, but they will bust out of their slump in this game. They will be facing Hill, who was not good in his first start for the Padres after a trade with the Pirates, and with them earlier this month, he gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. Arizona's lineup will get on track in this game and get to Hill early and often. Golan is coming off a pretty good last start, but the D-backs have lost his last 5 outings. He will have another good outing, and Arizona will get their 3rd win facing the Padres with him on the hill. The Diamondbacks will get the W in this game, snapping their skid and sending San Diego to their 5th loss in 6 games. Our total pick is over 9 runs. And here is why. The total for game 1 of this series went over, and that is the pick I am leaning towards in this game. The Diamondbacks have struggled at the dish in their 9-game skid, but put up 5 runs in game 1 and will put up more in this game. They will be facing Hill, who gave up 6 runs in only 3 innings in his first start for San Diego after a trade with the Pirates. He also did not have a good outing while with Pittsburgh facing the D-backs on the road in early July, giving up 5 runs in 4 innings. Arizona will rough him up and score several runs in this game. Golan gave up 2 runs in his last start, but has given up at least 4 runs in 2 of his last 3 home starts. However, he will have a good outing in this game. Still, Hill will struggle again, and with the D-backs getting it done at the dish, the over is the pick for this game. Colorado Rockies vs Los Angeles Dodgers. Our team pick is Los Angeles Dodgers minus 1.5 runs. And here is why. Colorado has been absolutely brutal on the road this season as they are 20-40 away from Coors Field, while Los Angeles is an outstanding 35-20 inside of Dodger Stadium thus far. There is a massive difference between these teams offensively since the All-Star break, as the Dodgers are averaging 6.08 runs in their 25 games, while the Rockies are scoring 4.21 runs in their 24 games in the second half. Go with the Los Angeles Dodgers to cover the run line as the far and away better team. Our total pick is over 9.5 runs. And here is why. These starting pitchers have been getting shelled lately, as in their last 7 games, Peter Lambert is 1-2 with a 5.25 ERA and a 10-14 walk-to-strikeout ratio, while Tony Gonsolin is 3-2 with a 6.29 ERA and a 14.28 walk-to-strikeout ratio in that span. Neither bullpen has been doing too well throughout the season, as Colorado is 27th with a 4.84 bullpen ERA, while Los Angeles is 19th with a 4.13 reliever ERA. All in all, go with over 9.5 runs to score in this matchup. Texas Rangers vs San Francisco Giants. Our team pick is Texas Rangers. And here is why. One of these teams has been able to cross the plate over the past 2 months, and it's not the home team. Texas's offense is one of the few that will give Cobb and the San Francisco bullpen trouble at Oracle Park. Meanwhile, the Rangers' pitching plan led by Andrew Heaney will contend with the offense that's been colder than every other for over a month. Take Texas to win Game 2 of this series. Our total pick is over, and here is why. While the Rangers were winning, the Giants were losing. They dropped 4 of 5 before this series began, including a sweep by the hands of the MLB worst Oakland Athletics. Their offense has scored fewer runs per game than every other team since July started. Having the second fewest stolen bases and a 27th ranked strikeout rate doesn't help with consistent run production. Even if the Giants have a top 10 walk rate. They've had a few good games recently, but are generally not scoring right now. San Francisco staying alive despite a lifeless approach at the plate speaks volumes about their pitching. San Francisco's relievers have emerged as a force, ranking among MLB's top 5 teams in WAR, FIP, and ERA. The rotation isn't too shabby either, and Alex Cobb at home is a shining example of that. The veteran right-hander gets the Saturday assignment, bringing a 1.46 Oracle Park ERA with him. He has only allowed 9 total runs in his 9 home starts this season. That includes 47 strikeouts against 11 walks in 55.2 innings. The road is a different story, but one that's irrelevant to this game.